Okay. So our design pressures or our test pressures. Now, here's the weird thing. It always drives me a little nuts with these units, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at this particular machine, we are connected here on one side. So this is saying the design pressure on the low side and the high side.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you look at the lines, so it's not the easiest to tell because the lines aren't that big of a difference in size. So this is 1/4 inch, this is 3/8 of an inch, right?
Yeah.
Now, so this is the low side when we're in cooling mode. This is the low side, and then this is the high side.
Okay.
Because this is the high pressure liquid line. So low pressure vapor line and high pressure liquid line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're telling us that we have to do a pressure test up to that, but there's only one connection to
Yeah.
the pressure. In fact, there's only one connection to take a reading. So what you do, because all you can do is just use the high side pressure.
Okay.
So you just try to push it up to 550. Now, what people don't understand is, even in heating mode,
Mm-hmm.
gas is going to come through this line, but it's going to be high pressure gas.
Okay.
So now we're going to have high pressure gas in this line, so it still has to be able to work up to that pressure. Because this is a heat mode, in cooling mode, it'll be at low pressure, but in heating mode, it's going to be at high pressure. So what we're testing, this is what people don't always understand, right? You have your indoor coil, you have your outdoor coil. It's changing size when we go from heating to cooling, right? So in cooling mode, this is the condenser, the high pressure is out here. In cooling mode, that's the evaporator, it's low pressure. But then in heating mode, it switches. So then this becomes the evaporator. And that becomes the condenser.
Okay.
Right? So what happens is in cooling mode, you have high pressure liquid.
Yeah.
Now it depends. It depends because there's different types of units, right?
Uh-huh.
It all depends on what is inside of that head. Because sometimes the indoor unit will have its own metering device.
Okay.
If you have a metering device in the indoor unit, I don't think this one does, right? If you have a metering device over there, then I'm sending high pressure liquid into the head, and it becomes low pressure liquid, and then it boils, and then we have low pressure vapor. Okay? If we don't have that, if the metering device is in here, then we're sending low pressure liquid out of here. So it all depends. All these units are different. So usually on the small ones, the metering device is right here.
Okay.
So in cooling mode, we have low pressure liquid goes out, and then low pressure vapor comes back. In heating mode, it's the opposite, right? So now this is the evaporator.
Yeah.
So then straight high pressure vapor goes over there, and then high pressure liquid comes back. Now, if you look at a central air conditioning unit, you will never see insulation on the liquid line for air conditioning unit. Central air, you know, when they have the square.
Yeah.
So if you have ducts in your house, right? They never have this because it's always high pressure liquid. So because it's high pressure liquid, it's always hot. I don't have to worry about condensation. So this is not insulated. The suction line is always insulated because the suction line is always cold.
Yeah.
But with this one, because it switches, you have to have insulation.
Both insulation.
Yes.
But how it works? How it transfer from?
So the four-way valve.
The
four-way valve. So the four-way valve switches.
Okay.
Yeah. So it switches between sending liquid that way or sending vapor. So in cooling mode, low pressure liquid goes out. But in heating mode, we're sending high pressure vapor out. So we'll draw it out. We'll talk about it, but yeah. So that's why we have the different test pressures. So let's talk about the fuse sizes. So we're saying our maximum fuse size here, talking about 25 amps. So our circuit breaker should be 25 amps. But then our minimum circuit amp capacity, how many amps pass through the circuit, is saying 17 amps minimum. Because we have over here 12.62, and then we have the fan. Now that doesn't add up to 17, but when it's very hot, and this is a cooling mode, then the amps might go up a little bit. So we need to be able to pass a minimum of 17 amps.
Okay.
Because the more amps we're passing through the wires will overheat, and it'll melt the insulation, and then we got a problem. Okay, over here, this is saying the refrigerant charge, so R410A, 24 ounces. Now, a pound is 16 ounces, so it's basically 1.5 pounds. So this unit is 1.5 pounds refrigerant, and then it's saying the date that it was manufactured. Yeah, so all this information. So sometimes you see a plate, it's just like that. Sometimes it's even more information.
Okay.
So we have to get accustomed to studying our data plate, being able to understand what it's telling us, because when we run the machine, we need to be able to check the amps. We need to see our pressures. So this is,
So the ideal main breaker,
Yes.
suppose we have the max,
Yeah.
you have the minimum 17 amps,
Yeah.
right? So the ideal breaker should put there.
so this is not a main breaker. This is, so we set this up. This is a disconnect switch.
Okay.
Every heat pump needs to have a disconnect switch. Now, the reason for the disconnect switch is if I need to work on this, I want to get electrocuted, so I can pull this out.
Okay.
And if you look here, it's a bridge. It's a bridge. Oh, yeah. Wow. We were just on a job, and I went with the guys took wiring, and I see what he did. I see what he did wrong.
That's why.
That is funny. That is funny. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is why you got to practice your craft. So we were on a job earlier today, and there were some wiring issues, and the person who was doing it kind of forgot his basics, but we'll fix all that stuff. No, leave it, because we're gonna fire this thing up, and
But you need to put a circuit breaker, right? So in case of high ampere,
yes.
you'll shut down.
Now, because this unit is a 115 unit, right? So we're using this as our circuit breaker because it has a switch right here.
Okay.
Right? But in reality, that would be connected to your circuit breaker panel, and it would have a throw switch in here. But we're just using this for now. So this is easy. You plug it in the outlet. If we have excessive amps, this is going to pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how much the amp should be? Clearance.
15.
15? But you have 17 here, right?
No, it's not. No, it's saying that's, minimum. It should be 17. But this thing should only be doing 12. So we'll be fine. Trust me, we use these things a lot. We're going to be installing millions of these things in the year.
10 amps.
Huh?
10 amps.
10 amps?
But you have the 12.
That's oil. So, because we, take it on and off a lot. So usually if you're looking for a leak, if you have oil, you dry up oil. That's an indication of where your leak is coming from.
But if you buy this one, this is disconnected, right?
Yes. Yes.
So how
none of this is going to be connected.
What is the easy way to find this is the liquid line and this is the
we reuse the machines. So when we teach, we reuse it and just things, when they don't connect it right, the oil comes out.
Okay.
Yeah. But usually you shouldn't see anything. Yep. But understand, this machine was sitting outdoors. It was at 0 psi, right? So that means it was at atmospheric pressure, which means air, moisture, it rains, it gets inside of it. So a lot of times when you have a machine and you have a leak, if the refrigerant is going, it's going to take a long time. We were at a job site earlier. We set up the machine, we did all the refrigerant lines, and it took like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, it was down to like 300 pipelines. But all this wiring. As a matter of fact, wait a minute, something missing. This thing is. Oh no. Okay, so this is fine. Because no, wait a minute. No, that's not right. Something missing. N1.
Neutral and supply.
Wait. No, there's another. Okay, so so one of these screws is missing. There's another wire in here that is for control. Oh snap! So we got to fix this. So unscrew that, please. Wow, we don't notice that. Okay, so unscrew those three, please. So inside of here, do I strip this back? What? Wait a minute. What? Somebody did this improperly. Oh crap. I know what happened. Wait a second. What's going on? Okay. Okay, so the power. Oh, I know what's missing. See over there if there's a wire inserted into the head? Like a black or white wire?
No,
No?
no.
Oh. Okay. So they stripped it. Okay. Okay. So so it wasn't incorrect. There's a wire missing. So we need something called a 14-4 wire, which is what is going to supply the power from the outdoor unit to the indoor unit. So in actuality, it was actually wired properly. So we're going to put that back. All the different manufacturers have different setups, and if you're not familiar with each individual one, you get issues like we had yesterday. Okay, so this is what I was told. All right, now, so this is where I kind of forgot where, now the important thing whenever you do this is you want to make sure that it matches up over here the same way it's gonna be over there, right?
Okay.
So this is coming from our disconnect switch. So we have our power, our neutral, right? So it says neutral, white, line, black, right?
Yeah.
Now from there, this is our 14-4 wire. This is 14 gauge with 4 wires. We put that up here. So this is a terminal block. So inside of here, we have white, black, red, and green. So this is going to be white, red, black, green.
Okay.
So that's what this second piece right here is for. So you strip it. So yes, yes. So once you get that on, then you put the second piece at the top.
So the thing that's very good about what you're doing, no exposed wires. This block is a little bit weird. Like it's very easy if you have exposed wires to cause like a short circuit. So you gotta keep things very, very tight.
You need a locks. You don't have locks.
Yep. So we're almost at 500 microns over here. Once we wire this up, we'll be able to charge some refrigerant. Let's see how it works. Now, once you have this, that's what they have these clips here for. And one of the steps that we're actually skipping here, there's a cover plate that goes over here. And then we actually use something called liquid tight to actually, when it rains, keep all that out. But for now, this is good. Okay. So when we come around, now here's the tricky part. Usually with our head here, we actually want to come from the inside of the cover. We're not going to do that right now. We don't want to take the cover off right now just because it took a lot of time. So just bring it around to the side, but make sure that everything is wired up numerically the same. So I think neutral. So it's showing here neutral, neutral white,
White,
then
red,
red,
yeah,
black,
green.
and green.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? Let's spread this out a little bit. This little table over here, bring it over here, and then we'll move it a little further apart. Yep. First. Yeah, so bring the other head over here. You stretch it out a little bit. Yeah, so bring that head over here. Yeah. Thanks. There you go.
Excuse.
There we go. Okay. So we got 500?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's check our wiring.
How about this one, Mister? You will change this one?
Nope.
No?
Okay. So let's check our wiring here. All right, so basically what's happening.
If you, that's fine. Oh, you plugged it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get a multimeter and we're gonna do some tests. So basically this is live. All this stuff is live right now. All right, now I want you to disconnect the plug and then test the power. So whenever you're working on a unit, you want to test your power source to make sure that it's within the proper range of what your unit requires. Okay. So on our data plate, it's saying 115. So our power supply has to be 10% above or below 115. Okay, are we on volts?
Yeah, it's
No,
not.
you gotta be on volts.
It's not reaching.
Are you on volts?
Yeah.
No, you gotta put on volts. You're testing the volts, yeah. Oh. There we go. So 123, right?
Okay.
So we got to be either 10%. So 115 plus 15 is 130. So we're within a proper range.
Okay.
Okay. Now plug up your outlet. All right. Now understand something. All this downstream is going to be live. So that our circuit breaker or GFCI over there is basically like our circuit breaker. So that's live right there, right? So if you chase your power, you go over here. Yeah. So what we're doing is testing across our hot and our neutral inside of our disconnect switch. So this is like our disconnect switch outside the house that we're going to be having for our unit. And it should be basically the same, 123, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now there is no bridge inside of there. So if you test the supply side, it's going to be
no voltage.
Well, it's going outside. Okay, yeah, you're right, in the middle. So we need that bridge there. So put the bridge in. Okay, now you heard that beep?
Yeah.
The unit just got power. Now let's check the high side. So the high side here coming out. Okay, so now we got our 123.
Okay.
Okay, now we come over here to our unit and we do the same thing. We check our power there. So we're checking our high and our neutral.